What's up, sis?
Child, when that beat drop, I'll be back there having a fit.
I see you back there jamming.
Happy Friday, y'all.
Right. Happy Friday, y'all. I
Ooh.
hope y'all having a fantastic Friday because, well, for some of y'all, it's the last work day. And for others, y'all got to go to work tomorrow. So, hey, still either way, be blessed you're here.
Okay. But listen, we in a whole new month. Okay. Uh, you're still able to hear the preparation podcast, so it's all good, right? Okay. Any
Right.
day above ground is a great day.
I know that's right because some of us didn't make it. Some of us didn't make it.
Right. Hmm.
But today, y'all, we got an interesting topic for y'all. Don't
I
wait.
think
What did it
all our
say?
topics are interesting. You
I
don't
mean,
think?
I'm just saying. I'm
Listen.
just
I'm in
saying.
full auntie mode now, y'all, because your girl can't see. So, any other episodes y'all done seen prior, I was not wearing my glasses, but now I have to embrace it, y'all, because, woo, baby.
I can't wait
I'm
to get my
almost,
bifocals.
listen, I done embraced 39. So that means, stuff is getting a little crazy in these streets. So from now on, as for me in my house,
Now it's me in my house.
we gonna wear these glasses, okay?
I'm done. Not me in my house. She already started
Okay.
her shenanigans,
All
y'all.
right. I'm not okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I'm over here
good.
trying to be serious and
Let me
she
mute
over
my mic.
what? I don't even be the one to open up episodes. Matter of fact, you go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Auntie. Go
But you
ahead.
know what? And that's just a cute little segue to talk about what we're talking about. So the topic is, did we grow up or just grow away? And like I said, embracing growing up, you got to leave a lot of things alone. And the Bible says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child. Now that you're an adult, you put childish things away. So today we are tackling that very premise. Have you put those childish things away, or are you still playing with them?
Whoa. So we're gonna open up with that first question, y'all. What does growing up actually mean to you versus what it meant when you were younger? So,
Okay, so for me, growing up, for me, when I was younger, that meant I could stay up late. I could do what I want. I could buy what I want. I could be my own boss. Nobody gonna tell me what to do. Um, I'll be married, have kids, be a mother. All the good things. But the reality of growing up is you like the boss, the CEO, you the first one there, last one to leave, right? You don't get any overtime. This is salary based. So whatever you put in, whether it's more than you expected or not. Okay. You do not get to stay up late. If you do get to stay up late, you're going to be paying for it in the morning because you got to go to work and pay these bills. And you are the only one that is going to make things happen. When you were young, you had parents and different people in your lives that do things for you. But now that you're an adult, you are the one that's doing the things for you. So if you don't eat, that's on you. If you don't get the clothes you want, that's on you. And if you don't live the life that you want, that is also on you. So you have to really be mindful and take self inventory of the type of life that you want and make sure that you do whatever it is that you need to do in order to get it.
whew, you said a mouthful there. Listen, everybody at some point in their life said, I can't wait till I get grown. I can't wait till I get out of my mama
Stupidest thing to
house.
ever say in life.
Whew, let me tell you something. Versus now, versus then, I used to work 2 and 3 jobs at one time, right? Go to school full time. Literally, I was literally probably working on like an hour of sleep, if that, because I would open one store, close another store, go overnight at another store. Now, honey, who? I'm not doing that. I can barely do one, and I just be tired. I wouldn't make it to the next job. That's hard. I'm older now. My health, issues kicked in now. So When you start getting older, you start walking differently. I used to say all the time when I get behind a car driving slow as a senior citizen, right? Why they gotta drive so slow? Honey, the older you get, the more you realize that they can't help it. They can't because you start moving slow. You start acting different when you start getting older. When I hit 40, it seems like everything just went pew. Like everything started hurting. Everything started just look. I started making noise when I get up. You know how over so everything just different when you
Either you make the noise or the body part make the noise for you, okay?
so so shout out to my senior citizens and my older people out there. Shout out to y'all for making it to that age because I'm telling you, each year I think is something different about you that you learn. The older I get, the more I don't like noise. I, I can't. And I put it like this: unnecessary noise. I, I can't. I want my peace. When I was younger, I was the type to get a system in my car and be bumping. You know what I'm saying? Bumping. You know. But now, let me get in the car with some like, can you turn that down?
I drive in silence.
So the older you get, the more you just certain things you cannot tolerate anymore. I cannot tolerate people smacking. Close your mouth and chew your food properly. I'ma take it.
She big mad, y'all. For y'all listening to the audio, she big mad. Her facial expression.
Look, my wife used to, she came into the relationship with that mentality of she don't like people to smack, when they eat chewing their food, close your mouth and eat. But when you learn to be with somebody that long, you been with somebody that long, certain things you start to catch on to too. You like, yeah, I can't stand that. Stop slurping and stuff. And yeah. It's just different, when you young, it's a lot of things you can tolerate. It's a lot of things you will deal with when you're younger. But when that old age start to hitting in, boy, it ain't much you gonna do. You gonna deal with no more. That's why I say I couldn't date at this age. They don't like me. I listen. I want a clean house. I want to. I'm different now. I was raised. My mama raised me every Saturday. My mom made me clean up, y'all. We had to get up. I had to get up. I ain't gonna say y'all because my siblings are a whole lot older than me. I'm the baby. So I, even though they think that I had the best life. No, I didn't. I got beatings too, but I listened to my mama. I didn't try to get in trouble because I didn't want no beatings. But my mama had me get up every now bad enough Monday through Friday, you gotta get up and go to school. But then Saturday, I had to get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I ain't talking about no little bit of cleaning. I'm talking about baseboards, walls, because she said they get dusty, which is true. They get dusty. But every week I had to do that. Now, not only that, I had to get up on Sunday morning too. 7, 8 o'clock in the morning to go to church. So then versus now, I had to go to church on Sundays. It wasn't no talking about that. But now as an adult now in
No
my life, I don't
debates.
have to go. I can watch it on Facebook or whatever I want to do. It's not something I got to get up and do. Now, granted, it's still in me that sometimes you do want to go to church and you want to feel that spirit and you want to be in the midst of the service. I do miss that, but I have a choice now. All right, y'all, we're gonna get to the next question. I can go on and on about that one right there. So, have we outgrown people and places, or are we avoiding them because they hold us in uncomfortable truths?
I think it's a little bit of both. I'm avoiding people in places because I'm protecting my peace, and that's also with making it uncomfortable truths because especially when you love and care about a person. There's a lot of people that I loved and cared about last year um, that bring up uncomfortable truths for me. And the truth is, you didn't love and care about me the way I loved and cared about you. So for that, I have to remove myself to protect my peace, to protect my well being, to protect my heart. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely think it's a combination of both.
Me personally, I think people hold you captive in your past because the person that I am today is not the person I was 10 years ago. And that's why I'm real big on your past does not define who you are. People grow up and they become different people and they don't want to
True.
deal with certain things anymore. You know what I mean? They don't want to deal with certain things. Like you said, now it's about peace. My mom used to say peace of mind. I ain't know what that meant. Peace of mind, man, is so important. I'd rather sit in my house quietly, don't have to deal with nothing. So, yeah, it might be a little both, but like you said, uncomfortable truths is things that you don't want to remember sometimes. And sometimes that's why I don't like for people to hold grudges. I'm not a person that hold grudges. I can deal with a situation and move on. Not saying that I'm going to deal with you still, but I can literally just forget that ever happened and just move on from it. I'm not going to, every time I see you, I got to talk about this situation. I'm done with it. But you have to just let go and let life and God deal with certain things. And that's where I'm at in my life now, where I'm just letting God fight my battles literally. And I didn't know what that meant a long time ago. Letting God, my mom used to say, let God fight your battles. What you talking about? Now that I done been through some things and got through some things, you do have to sit back and just let God deal with certain things because everything doesn't deserve a reaction from you. And a lot of times people do things to you to get that uproar out of you and take you out of character. And now
Yeah.
you're a whole different person. They done
Yeah.
brought out that's not even you.
Yeah.
God can fight battles better than you and I. And I
Yeah.
learned that the hard way.
Because a lot of people are testing to see if you actually changed. Misery loves company. So if you say, okay, let's use a relationship for an example. If you had a whole bunch of friends that were bad influences, or they were womanizers or cheaters, and you say, listen, I'm changing my ways. I'm about to get married. I'm about to do this and that and that. They're going to test you to make sure to see. Oh, I thought you said you was this, because they'll be the first ones to say, "Oh, I thought you
First.
I thought you was this, or I thought you was that." In the podcasting world, there's people that just press play and they talk about anything. And then there's other people that have a streamlined focus. They'll say, "Oh, can you come on my platform?" Now, if you're doing it for the content, you're going to be like, "Yeah, but I thought you was a pastor. I thought you was a positive influencer. I thought you was a Christian influencer. Why? I talk about sex, drugs, and I curse. So how can two walk alike unless they agree? Like, you got to be equally yoked with certain things. So you got to really be mindful about what you're putting out,
Mhm.
and know that people are watching, and they're going to test you, and God is going to test you to see if you're going to hold yourself accountable, because a lot of
Yep.
the times, just like with smoking, we're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna quit smoking, and they still smoke cigarettes. Like, sometimes it get like that. Your intention is good, however.
I think she's
So
stepping on my toes, y'all.
no, that wasn't for you, but I'm just saying, like, that's an example. Like, we have to be mindful
Yeah.
about the choices that we're making, because people are watching.
Yeah.
And it's not just about what you say. You have to also live the life too.
Yeah. That's true. Now I done said so many times. I said, sis, I think I'm gonna start smoking blacks. I said, oh, now she's stepping on my toes. My toes hurt right now. But I am. I'm going to. I'm going to. But I'm the thing about it, when it comes down to smoking, you don't say it, you just do it. Because when I was smoking cigarettes, I didn't tell nobody I was gonna stop smoking cigarettes. I just did it. One day out the blue, I was like, Lord, just take the taste out of my mouth. And it was that easy. So I'm gonna have to say that prayer again and really sincerely mean that, like I did when I stopped smoking cigarettes, because he did. Took it just like that. I was done. So it's all about this right up here. I don't care what nobody said.
Yeah,
If you really want to
everything.
quit,
It's a mindset shift. Yeah.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So are we evolving with intention? As that's my sis' favorite word, y'all, intention. Or are we just running from what raised us?
Well, I'm gonna say I'm evolving with intention, because now, after losing so many people, um, that is definitely the goal for me, to involve with intention, because, like I said earlier, people are watching, and not so much the people, but God is watching, and that's whose I am, right? So at the end of the day, I am here to serve him, not to serve myself, not to serve my spouse, not to serve my mom or my children or whatever the case may be. I am a steward of them, but at the end of the day, the goal is to do what he has designed for me to do on this earth, right? Not anybody else first. So, I'm definitely involving with intention. And then sometimes people do as they grow up. I think it starts off running from what you left behind,
Hmm.
especially in your 20s. You're trying to do, oh, well, I don't want to be like my mom. She never got married, so I'm going to get married. But then when life starts lifing and you develop wisdom for yourself, you start to evolve with intention because okay, marriage is just not something that I do because I don't want to be single. Marriage is a ministry. Marriage is about selflessness. So you start to kind of streamline the desires and your priorities now that you get older.
Well, I mean, I think I might be involving with intention, but there's certain things that I don't know. Back then, like you said, you might be running from too. But I feel like anything that's worth it that you were raised on is gonna come back full circle. That's just like reading the Bible and being, being that church goer. My mom having me in the church every Sunday. Everything that she taught me in that process spiritually and everything that I learned from that, at a point I probably strayed away from it because I got grown and I thought I was, I thought I was grown, but out there being grown. And but you come back to it at some point in your life. You come back to it and you're full force in it. Now me and my mom have different conversations than I've had when I was younger. We can talk about the Bible full speed. She'll bring up a scripture or something, and then I'm like, well, mom, what does that mean to you? And then she asks me what it means to me. So now the conversation and the dynamic is different because I'm older now. But she'd had tried to have that conversation with the 21-year-old me. It'd
Right.
have
You
been a
ain't
whole
trying to
different
hear it.
ballgame. I wasn't
Right.
trying to hear that.
Exactly.
Wasn't trying to hear that. And I want to talk about that. But now, it's different. So I really see the growth in not only me as a person, but the people that are around me, the type of conversations that I have with people, the people that I allow to be within my circle in close proximity of me. I don't allow everybody in my circle no more. I have denied the access to a lot of people now. You just can't come in my circle any kind of way now. You might have to have a password. You might have to have a key. You might have to turn a deadbolt lock. Like it's so much protection on this right now. It's my life is copywritten at this point. It's copywritten. So certain lines that you can't cross now with me. And if you're able to talk to me every day, if you're able to talk to me, period, that's a good thing. But I'm not letting everybody in no more. I got a couple of deadbolts up there. I got the chain, the deadbolt. I got the regular lock. It locked from the inside and the outside now. Like
Wow.
I'm
Fort
not
Knox.
playing. I'm not playing now. It's only one way in now. Then you had two ways out because that's how people walked out my life because they had another way out. You can't get out this time. If you in here, you in here.
We're gonna jump you in and jump you out.
Okay, so if you get out of here this time, that means I put you out. That only door that you could go out. I ain't playing people no more. Oh God. So what values did you think we left behind, and which ones do you think that we carry forward without question?
I think values, period, we left behind as a society, as a generation. We were talking about this on a previous episode. Just being what it takes to be a woman, what it takes to be a man, what it takes to be a husband, what it takes to be a wife, what it takes to be a friend. Um, we learn these things, the friend and all this other stuff. We learn these things growing up because we've had friends, we go to high school with, whatever. And then again, life starts life and we start to get into other things and the priorities shift or we get a little selfish. Um, I think of my 5-year old when I drop him off to school every morning. Everybody run up to him and say, hey to him. He has so many friends. But it's not until he lives life that he starts to streamline that definition. What does that really mean? So, for me, values that I keep now, and I think that goes into what you were saying earlier about when you get older, you value you, right? You value what you tolerate around you. You value who you tolerate around you. And if it does not align with what you want, peace, loyalty, support, if it doesn't align, then you don't participate in it or with them. Because when you're in your 20s, oh, okay, you can make excuses. They're just in his defense, right? In her defense. But when you turn a certain age and that light bulb come on, you be like, ain't no more defenses. This is just who you are, and this is who I am, and the two don't go together. So I wish you well, and best of luck.
Best of luck. Listen, I'll be the first to admit that I dealt with a lot of things in the past when it comes down to friendship, when it comes down to family, all the above. I would just let people just run over me, just hit the gas, run over me. But let me tell you something. I think I struggled with. I know I said. I ain't gonna think. I know I struggled with low self esteem. I struggled with the fact that I wanted friends. Who doesn't? So I tolerated so many things from people because I wanted them around. But they didn't recognize the fact that I wanted them there. I didn't want to lose them. So I tolerated everything they did to me, whether it hurt my feelings, whether it broke my heart, whatever it was, I
Yeah.
still kept them around. I gave them excuses to hurt me. Like, stay around. I just want you here. So I think, when it comes down to values like my mom raising me, there are certain things that she's instilled in me that kind of like remains with me. Treat people good and you will be blessed. And also treat people the way you want to be treated. That's another thing. They said it's the golden rule anyway. But if I treated people the way they treated me, that wouldn't be nothing to be doing right there. If I treated them, if I, as sis say, match energy, okay, y'all wouldn't want none.
Who? You don't want this smoke? That's
It'll
why I
be
keep telling people, listen, you better enjoy what you got. Because if I
okay.
give you what you give me, okay, you ain't gonna like it.
Yeah, you ain't gonna
So
like it.
fix it and fix it fast.
I'm trying to tell you.
Or you gonna
Cause
be on the
see,
outside looking in.
cause trust me, within the last year, had I had matched a lot of energy, oh my God. I told my sis and I told another one of my acquaintances back then, I can love you to death. I can be in the middle where I don't care at all. And then I don't give a. And when I get there, gone. But you see, that's three chances within itself right there.
Too many. Because you're only
I
supposed to
gave
give
you a chance
one.
to fix it.
Hmm.
And then I used to tell one of my friends in the past, I said, you know what? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. If I find that you're lying to me, it's a done deal. But that same person I gave multiple chances to lie to me over and over and over again. And then one day I woke up and the light bulb went off. Enough is enough. It's time to let you go because you're never
That
gonna
light
tell me
bulb
the
is
truth.
something else. But see that again that comes with evolving, right? Because you had a specific trauma response. You wanted people around, you wanted the fringe. We do this in relationships. We see the red flags, of course. We paint them yellow, pink, white, whatever color you want that don't make it red. We painted that because we want love or we want to be married or we just want that person.
Mhm.
But it comes a time where that light bulb comes on and you be like,
Mm.
you know what? It's either you or me. And it's always going to be me. So, yeah, no, you got
I'm
to
out.
go. Right. SpongeBob in a minute. Cause you have to prioritize yourself. You have to prioritize your boundaries because if you don't, then you're gonna mess around and be in a situation that's gonna take you someplace you never expected, like the first 48.
Okay. But that's one thing I've learned in the year 2024. I've never blocked nobody. I didn't think it was necessary. But I realized when all the shenanigans was going on, I had to do that for my peace and my healing so I can move forward in my life. So if I didn't have to, if I couldn't see it and I didn't know it was going on, I was good. So that's my take on that question right there. But is distance always a sign of growth or can it be a defense mechanism? That led right into that question. Woo.
I think, yeah, that was a good one. I think it's both. Um, because for me, distance was SpongeBobbing, and that was a defense mechanism because I was uncomfortable having hard conversations and communicating what I wanted and what I wanted from certain individuals. Now, I'm not going to SpongeBob you. I'm going to tell you first, and then I'm going to SpongeBob you because you ain't get the hint when I said it. Before I just SpongeBob you and I wouldn't tell you. Now I'm going to tell you, and then I'm a SpongeBob you. So that's growth. I'm a
You
distance
welcome.
myself. Yeah, I'm a distance myself because what we not finna do is interrupt the piece that I have rebuilt because I've lost a lot. So in this space, if you cannot respect the hard work that I've put in my healing journey, in my growth, then you got to go because I know what it's like to lose it and I'm not going to lose it again. I don't care who you are because at the end of the day, my children need a healthy version of me. And I know what it's like to be in an unhealthy space. And I know what it's like now to be in a healthy space and there's no turning back for me.
That part. I don't know, sis be on that SpongeBob and stuff. That's why I told her you're welcome because listen, I told her the last time that she SpongeBob somebody, I was like, yeah, that wasn't right, sis. Like, you didn't even say why. Like, you get somebody. I hate to be left hanging, not knowing what I did to somebody, what I could have did to change it. Maybe I would have changed it if you'd have told me. So you welcome. That's
But you know what? In your defense, it depends on a person.
true.
Because a person like you who is sincere and genuine and you really have a heart for friends and love and family, you deserve closure. Some people, no, they don't because they don't respect you. So it's like, why should I? I'm not Jesus, okay? I love him, I live for him, but I'm not him. So you're not going to get the same amount of grace that he would give you from me. You're not going to do it. So, um, that's something that he's still working on in me. My shirt is who I am. I match energy. And that is something that I am transparent about, right? But I'm doing a better job at matching energy because I'm now prioritizing who I match energy with versus who I give grace to.
Mm,
Because I used to just give it out to everybody. But now I'm doing a better job at understanding, okay, this person needs closure. This person needs a little more grace. We can uh, maybe talk about this. And then, but other people, mm-mm. Because while we sitting here losing sleep, they sleeping just fine. They
that
don't care
part.
about how they treat you.
That
They don't
part.
care about how they handle you because that's just who they are. And
That
they'll
part.
never change.
That part. But you know what? I realize now, like, since you live, you learn. That is so true. You live and learn. Because since I've learned the fact that people can just really pretend and play in my face type stuff, I have really just learned to just move accordingly and cautiously with people now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just be everybody's friend, and they can't be my friend. Everybody, my mama used to say that everybody ain't your friend.
That F word to get you messed up.
So rather than me be on the first 48 about a friendship, I'm just gonna choose carefully who I deal with, who I let into my circle, because last year could have really broke me, but I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that it didn't. So distance is good for me. I can be happy for you. I didn't know what that truly meant until now, to be happy for a person from a distance. Now I know, because there's people out there that I cannot be around every single day or even be in the midst of them, but I can look at them from a distance and clap. Now I really know what that means, to love you from a distance, celebrate you from a distance, and we good there. And you don't even gotta know I'm doing it. But yeah. Yeah. I don't have no SpongeBob in situation, y'all. She's SpongeBob. I've never been like that. I've never been able to block
I'm not
people.
loving. I'm not clapping. I'm not. You're dead to me. Unalive. Whatever
You
you
have
want to
done it.
say.
You have
You,
done it.
the person you have reached is no longer available. Okay, I'm not doing it. That's God's job to worry about you, not mine. Like
I
I'm.
didn't
I'm
say you had
just.
to worry about them.
I'm
Just when
just.
you
I'm just. Listen. Anything pertaining to you, you no longer. You listen. You have been excommunicated out of my life. That part of my journey has been ripped out. You know how when you write in a notebook and you mess it up and you rip that page out, you have been ripped out the book.
do do do, you number you reached has been.
Okay, tread
She worse than
lightly.
me, y'all. She worse than me. I'm sorry. I still got a little bit of compassion in my heart for
Oh, I got
people.
compassion. I got compassion for myself and my
Y'all see
mental
what I deal with?
state enough to say, listen, you go that way, stay that way, don't come back over here.
Well, yeah, I'm like that right now. Yeah, just stay over there. I ain't say come over here
Yeah,
now.
no, I'm
Don't you
not I'm
come
not
over here.
clapping from afar. I'm not sharing nothing. I'm not
I ain't
looking at
sharing nothing.
nothing.
No,
I'm not I don't care.
they don't even
Whatever
know
you
I'm
got
with you.
going on, oh well. Don't even want to hear about it.
Y'all see what I'm dealing with? Y'all see? Y'all see? Y'all see what she turning me into? Y'all help. So, next question is: have we healed from our past or just disconnected from it?
Transparency is both for me. Um certain parts of my past I feel like I've healed from, and certain parts I have just gone away from. I feel like anybody can notice the difference if it still triggers you. That means you're not healed from it. But if you can talk about it and it doesn't sting, then you've healed from the thing. If there's still like a little inclination, or if you see a said person that is a part of your past and you still want to be on the first 48 when you see them, then you're not healed from it. Especially when relationships are concerned, whether it's friends or family. I think you, like you said too, loving you from afar, that's a key indicator that you're healed from a thing too, because you can do that, if that's your personality. That's not in my personality. I'm not. I could be healed from a thing, but you still need to go far, far away. Like there's no, you know.
I'm done. I'm done. Well, I think there is it's this such thing as the inner child, and that inner child in me thinks about how people treated me, the name calling, you know, not being in that popular circle, and it makes me interact differently now as an adult. Like, well, if I do this, are they gonna like it? Are they gonna clap for me now? Or are they still gonna think about that child I was back in the day? So I can say that too, that some things I've healed from, and some things I'm still kind of carrying along because I feel like it's a part of me. It's a part of my journey. So I can't say I heal from it. But it's still a me thing at the end of the day, because now that I'm truly stepping into who I am completely with no apologies, if you either gonna like me or yet not. And it's just that
Yeah.
simple.
Hmm.
Now that I'm doing that, I guess I can say I'm healed to a degree. That to the point where I don't worry about the things that happened back in the day. I don't worry about how people used to treat me. But I do know that I'm not tolerating anybody new treating me a particular kind of way. So I guess I can say I'm healed to a certain degree. But don't play with me. Don't play in my face no more. You not. I'm not gonna let you get that close no more. Seriously.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
healed to um you're healed to giving chance after chance, being naive. But at the same time, those triggers are the key indicators to cause the boundaries that you've set.
you're right. You're right. Now I do have triggers, but I didn't realize there was such thing as triggers. But certain things that people say to me and how they treat me, I pop off instantly. Like it's instantly. Why you doing this? Like it's an instant situation where I'm reminded of the things that were done earlier stages. Now I'm mad. You done pissed me off now. Now it's now that I'm not calm about it no more. I'm mad. It's so yeah. You do have them triggers. You do have them triggers.
So I would say that you're healing. You're not
Oh,
healed, but you're healing because you have come into a place where you are now observant and you can communicate that. Before you would get upset, like you don't know where that's coming from, why you acting, but now you understand this is a trauma response. You've
yeah.
triggered me. Now you can communicate it. And then as you set the boundaries, as you be more open about how you're feeling and not internalize it, then you can really fully be healed from a thing. But I don't think people really are completely healed from a thing. We talked about this earlier too in regards to relationships. There's always some type of residue from anything that you've encountered either growing up as a child or even as an adult. Like people feel like adults can't get their feelings hurt either. We've got our feelings hurt plenty of times last year. There's still residue from that. We just have we do a better job at covering it up now as adults because as kids we would cry, we would do this, we would do that wherever we were. Now we cover it up. We'll cry when we get home in the tub while we driving, whatever the case may be. So we have to do a better job at feeling it so we can deal with it because that's the only way that we're going to be able to grow from it if we don't, deal with it.
But you know what? Songs too. Sometimes you can hear a particular song, and then next thing you know, you got a waterfall of tears because
Listen,
you're
don't
not.
play no gospel,
Oh,
baby, because you gonna ugly cry. Gospel will bring the ugliest cry out of you. Now R&B will break your heart, but gospel, because it's like when you meditate on the things of God and all the stuff that He's brought you from, and you just realizing that you did not have to be here right now, like that in itself is just like that gives you goosebumps, and that comes with when you get older, as our
mhm.
old folks would say, you understand by and by
I
as
know.
you live, and you start to see now that you're getting older, the people that you surrounded yourself with, they're dying. The older generation that was our age then, they're dying or they're getting older. You're starting to see people's health decline, and your parents who were like superheroes, now they're like babies in a form where you have to take care of them and look after them and make sure they don't fall and all this other stuff. So you really got to be mindful what you listen to because you're going to be emotional, like Carl Thomas said.
Listen, that song by Miss Calandra Gant, shout out to her. It's called "I Made It." Now, granted, it's a upbeat song, but the lyrics in itself, "I made it, I made it out," and then when she starts, man, you start thinking about what you've been through, and the next thing you know, you in a whole spirit about it because you like, I did make it through this, and I made it through that. So that's why I say a song will bring out some stuff in you, and you be like, know that you ain't healed. You're not fully there because you're still thinking about those things. So, all right, the next question is, what parts of your upbringing do you find yourself repeating, even unintentionally?
Uh, I try my best. Transparency moment. I try my best. My mom was not married. She had me and my brother by two different men. And I tried my best. I said, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm gonna get married. I'm gonna have both my kids by the same man. We gonna live life. That's gonna be my man, my man. Child, I did the same thing. The only difference between her and me is I married both of them. But I think sometimes you try so hard to run away from something that you run smack dab into it. So you have to really be mindful about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Are you doing it to prove a point, or are you doing it because you genuinely want to be married? And then sometimes we do stuff because other people want us to do it, right? And it's not really what we want to do or what we feel we should do for our life. So for me, just being a single mom, that's something that I'm seeing now in my adulthood that I saw in my childhood. Not having any real marital examples to glean from. Um, it's hard out here when you are the blueprint, and we're going to talk about that in later episodes. It's hard out here to be the blueprint because when you grow up and you're a child, you think that it's going to, well, I did. I can't talk for everybody else. I thought that it was going to be me being an analytical thinker. I thought that was going to be mapped out for me. But now realizing that you have to be the blueprint for someone else, that's hard because you are the one that makes all the mistakes. You are the one, like, you can't live your life in pen. You got to live your life in pencil because there's going to be some things that you might have to erase. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to make mistakes. When you write stuff down on a pencil, you are prepared to erase some stuff, right? I make my son write his name in pencil because he's 5. But my 16-year-old, he better write his name in pen because he know how to write his name. You know what I'm saying? So I think we got to get to that place where we realize that we are the blueprint and we are the ones to do things in pencil so the ones behind us can do it in pen. And that for
I'm,
me is a game changer.
well, that's right. Me, I used to say all the time, I'm not gonna beat my kids. When I grow up and I have kids, I'm not gonna beat my kids.
I ain't never said that. I grew up in
Look,
the Bernie Mac school of
look,
parenting, okay?
my mama, like I said, when I got them beatings, I got them beatings. And I said every time I get a beating, I grew up, I ain't gonna beat my kids. But let me tell you something. That's something I repeated. I repeated because them two was a whole different ball game.
Wait, okay, so okay, let's break this down because we part of the melanin coalition. So we got to break it down for people. There is a difference between popping and there's a difference between beating. Beating is with a belt. Popping is just a little pow pow. Some kids you gotta beat, and then some kids you can pow pow. Now me, I was fortunate enough with my oldest where I could just say something to him and it'll break his soul. So I never really had to like pow pow him or beat him, but this one, he get a couple of pow pows. He don't get no beatings. He's still a good boy, but he get a couple of pow pows.
Don't do him like that. Don't do him like that. He's a sweetheart. Don't do him like that.
To you.
That's my sweetheart right there now. Well, my two was different. They were different. Nicholas, he was I wouldn't say he wasn't bad. Nicholas was sneaky. So Nicholas got away with things that I didn't know about because he was so sneaky.
No, he was you.
Yeah, he was me. You right, he was me, but he was a little bit better than me. I got away with
Wow.
my stuff. It's stuff that I got away with that my mama still don't know to this day. But yeah, he was me. You right. I never thought about that, but he was the version of me. He got away with everything. He didn't get caught,
Wow.
and I didn't get caught either. But money always got caught up
All
in them
right,
stuff.
not too much for my niecey now. That's
Yes,
that's my
sir.
girl. You know, I love
Listen,
her.
listen. She didn't know how to play the game. She always got caught. So she had to get Monty got the most beatings
Oh
between
man.
Nicholas and Monty. She got the most beatings. Yeah. She had me with the most visits to the school.
Oh,
All of it. All of it. I'm telling you. And like you said, my mom was the she was in the era. Let's break this down. She was in the era of go outside and get me a switch era. Okay. She was in the era of braiding those same switches together and wetting them. Okay. She was also in the era where you acted out is where you got it.
Yeah.
Okay. She was also in that era where I throw a shoe at you, or I'm
Whatever
picking up
is
the
close
first
to
thing
me.
that's close to me.
Okay. You better be lucky. It's
I'm gonna beat you. Okay. She was also in the era where you thought she forgot about you. You thought she forgot to beat you.
don't try to go to sleep.
And wait till you get in the shower
Oh no,
and
those
tear
are
you up. Yeah, that's the
see.
worst beating.
Mm-mm.
So I had a lot of mixtures of discipline. So of course
Right.
I would say I ain't gonna beat my kids when I grow up,
Yeah. Yeah.
just to turn around and do it. Now, even though my father was around, my father was real quiet man. You know, he would come, he would sit with me for hours on hand, literally, just sit with me. So I like to tell my mom all the time that I got the best of both worlds because my mom is that outspoken one that will tell you about yourself in the moment of the situation. My dad was the person that would just sit back and observe quietly and not really say anything. He was just like me, just let people do what they want to do, run over him, and this, that, and the fourth. But see, being the fact that I have the mixture in me, that makes it hard because I can be nice to you, but I ain't gonna let you play with me either. That's my
That
mom.
part.
So
Right.
when you get to the point where my mom starts to coming out of me,
Uh-huh.
oh my God,
Duck for cover.
you better what? Because that ain't gonna be good because I'm probably 10 times worse than her. But I got her in me. But at the same time, my kids are her. My kids are very outspoken, like very. So they ain't the type. They're gonna tell you how they feel about something right then and there in the moment. So they got all of my mama in them, all of it. None of their granddaddy.
But you know what? I want people to understand the importance of allowing them to express themselves.
Yes.
Now, we're not talking about, when the other people will be like, no, mom. When she tell Billy, sit down, and he says,
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't got to listen to you. Whoa. That's when you tap into your ancestors, okay? And you make them feel it. Now, I'm talking about giving them a space where they can say how they're feeling. They had a bad day at school. They're uncomfortable with something. They're sad, whatever the case may be. We have to let these children express themselves because they're going through stuff we didn't have to go through. Mental health
That's it.
now is
That's
at
it.
an all-time high. And it's not just for
Mm-hmm.
adults. Children are
Mm-hmm.
experiencing these things at school that we've never seen
Never.
or, heard or gone through. Social media, we didn't have that when we was in school. So if you
Child.
got bullied, it was over the next day. Now
Man, no,
they're
you
gonna bully
fought
you
them.
in school and then post it on socials before you get out of school, and it's on the internet forever.
Okay. Nah, they bullied us at school. Like yeah. They bully you at school. You fight. We fighting, and then after we fight, it's over. Like you said, there's nothing
Exactly.
else after that. We beat their butts, or they beat our butts, and we go on
People
about our
hold
business.
grudges and bring firearms to the school
Okay,
months later about something that you done did last year.
but you
So
know
you,
what though, sis? The village is different. The
yeah,
village we had a village in our time. They don't have villages now because if you couldn't talk to your mom, you can at least go to the church member. If you couldn't
or
talk
your
to your church
aunt.
member, you can go to the teacher or your aunt or somebody in your circle to talk to if you
Yeah,
couldn't talk to your parents. So the village is different because we don't have one now. That's the
yeah.
problem. We don't have one.
But you
But
got to remember too, our parents, they were older when they had
older.
us.
Yes.
So they were
Seasoned.
older, they were more settled, and the
Mm-hmm.
people around them were older and settled.
Older.
Now the parents are in their 20s. They don't have no friends that's mature enough to talk to because they in the club with the parents.
I ain't lying. The dynamics are different now with parents, and you right. You right. You right. You right. But I think what I repeated too is my mom, even though my father was there until I was 15 years old, he died when I was 15. My mom acted as in a single mother mode. You know, if she needed something from my father, of course he provided. But I
She
lived in
got
my
it.
mother's household.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So she was the main person.
provider. Yeah,
So I repeated it.
yeah,
But mine was different. I literally was alone
yeah.
completely. no support from fathers. So that right there, I didn't want to repeat. I didn't want to repeat that. I wanted to be in a situation where I had someone to help, someone to be there. But if that child got sick, I had to leave work. There was no other alternative to that. It was me. If that child had a basketball game, it was me. I had to leave work and go straight to basketball games. Get on the road to, tired is all outside. It was me. I was the option. So at the end of the day, I wish I'd have learned that lesson. But I tried to instill it in my daughter that, listen, get pregnant. And I prayed that prayer too. Please, Lord, let my child get out of high school without getting pregnant. I didn't want that to repeat. And when that child walked across that stage, you talking about a proud moment.
Yeah,
Didn't have a baby on her hip, proud moment. Because everybody expected me to fail as a parent because I was young. I was 16 with my first child. 5 years later, I had my next child. So people expected me to fail in that situation because I was such a young parent. But my daughter made it through high school with
that's
my
big.
son and my daughter. I prayed that prayer. Please, Lord, take them across that stage. If they got a child after they graduated from high school, I still would have been proud.
And my girl she finishing college. How about that? Come on here, Niecy Pooh. Shout
One
out to
child.
my Niecy.
So at the end of the day, you know, I wasn't that parent. If I was in the mindset that I am now, then things have been a whole lot different for us parenting for me. But now that I'm raising a newborn now, her life is probably gonna be different because my mindset is different. I was young then. I wasn't thinking about, oh, let me put some savings up for my child and for their future, or let me open this trust fund, or let me do this. I wasn't thinking about life insurance, all of this different type of things that you should be thinking about. I wasn't thinking about those things because I was young. All I could think about is going to work and
Surviving.
providing.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
So I hope that they don't hold it against me because I wasn't the mature parent. I was 16. And then later on, I was 20 years old with the next child. So at the end of the day, I didn't know nothing
You were in
about no
survival
raising no
mode.
kids.
Yeah, yeah. You were survival.
Kids don't need to be having kids. And I'm gonna say that I was a kid having a kid
Yeah.
that didn't live life because I had
Listen, even
kids.
after people feel like, oh, when I'm 21, I'm gonna be an adult. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're not an adult until you hit 30, in my
Child, some
opinion.
of them made adults then.
I know 50-year-olds that's not an adult, but you're not an adult until you start to live life on your own. You don't need nobody to help you pay no bills. And you've accomplished certain things for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard too because with this day and age, you need help from other people to accomplish those things.
Okay.
You can't just get an apartment by yourself. You got to live with somebody. And both of y'all have to have two jobs in order to survive.
And
Like
barely be
we
married then. You gotta
this is
eat.
just to pay regular bills. This ain't even
They ain't eating.
things to have fun. Like you
No.
can't go out, forget it. You need a side hustle to go out.
Better Uber and food deliveries or something that just could be out to go out to eat somewhere
And who
or
want to
go
do
boat.
that? Because you're gonna have people in your car that might not be too bright, and then that's a whole nother situation.
Yeah, that's a whole nother day and a dollar. But but yeah, I'm just grateful that, yes, she had a child after she graduated,
But
but
she graduated.
she graduated.
Hmm.
I don't want my kids to be like me. I want them to be better than
Better.
me.
Yeah, that's the
And
goal.
that's my goal. Yeah, that's my goal for them to be better than me. And they striving. They make mistakes, but they living, they learning. It'll be all right eventually. But now we down to our last question.
Pew 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 pew.
Are you building something new, or are you just not trying? Wait a minute, hold on. Let me run that back. Are you building something new, or are you just trying not to be what you came from?
In this
Mm.
stage of my life, I'm building something new. I am. like I said before, the blueprint to be the change that I want to see. Everybody's not going to have my story. They're not going to survive what I survived. And for that, that's my superpower. In the beginning, I was trying to change, to be, how did the ending go?
The question,
Yeah, the ending part of the question.
are you trying not to be where you came from?
In the beginning, it was me trying not to be where I came from. And that's when I said I ran smack into what I came from, right? So now I am becoming the change that I want to see and living life on my own terms and what that means for me, what that means for my family. Um, doing things for the right reasons. If the thought is to get married, to be married for the right reasons, not because I had a child, not because somebody forced me to, not because I need financial stability. I'm getting married because I'm in love. I'm getting married because I plan to spend forever with this person. I'm getting married because this is what's best for us in a unit. And this person that I'm marrying understands that it's supposed to be me, him, and Jesus. These children that I'm raising them to be somebody's husband, somebody's father, a black man, successful, a praying man of God, not what my brother is, or to be an athlete, or to be, what do you want to be? So I'm raising them to have their own mindset and to really do self discovery, to understand what they're good at versus what they're not good at. Focus on what you're good at. God will make room for you. Your gifts will make room for you. So focus on what you can naturally do and tap into that, because that's where the money's going to come from, not what you're going to college for. But
Well,
go to college, because that college will set you up.
okay. I think that I'm taking seeds from where I came from, and I'm taking those same seeds and I'm replanting them and
Okay.
building my own legacy, my own blueprint. Because where my mother came from ended up being where I came from, but I can change the narrative. Because in my mom's time, it wasn't about saving money. You had to spend it because you can't take it with you anyway. That was the concept. It wasn't about credit, because back then they were able to get things a little bit more easier, but not really. Because if you wasn't of this skin color, you couldn't get loans to buy a
Right.
house. You
Hmm.
could get loans to go to college. So the times were different. My mother was blessed to have a house to be given to her. She paid maybe like 2, 3 mortgage payments on that house. It was hers. She's still living in that house, built different ways, because it was tore down. It started off as a greenhouse that I grew up in, and a whole lot of other people grew up in.
Wow.
And it was tore down and remodeled. Well, no, it wasn't tore down the first time. It was just remodeled and repainted and everything inside. The last time, which was recently, like some years ago, they tore it all the way down, like nothing, and rebuilt it back up. So she started off with a 3 bedroom house that's now a 2 bedroom house. So that's why I say that back then things were different, but now you have to have make 3 times the rent. You got to have a little bit good. You got to have some good credit sometimes in these places, unless you're dealing with a private owner. You got to have first month's rent, last month's rent sometimes, and a security deposit. So I have to rebuild and make my own mark, because things are different from when my mother raised me than now. So I am the blueprint for my kids and my grandkids. So that's why I say everything that I do is for everything that's behind me.
Hmm.
They're coming behind me strong. And
Yeah.
I got to be that example for them, so that they'll know, you know what, mama did it. She got through it. So I got to teach them about credit. I got to teach them about savings. I got to teach them about them rainy days and them thunderstorms, because Lord knows they're coming.
They definitely
Nobody's
coming.
exempted from that. Even though you're rich, you still gonna have a thunderstorm somewhere in your life. It might not be a financial storm. It may be somebody close to you got sick and there's no cure. So even if you have a lot of money, that's not gonna fix everything. So, like I said, I'm taking some seeds from what my mom planted into me, and I'm replanting them same seeds to build a legacy for my kids, the ones that are coming behind me, my kids, my grandkids, my great grands, anybody that's coming behind me that truly love me. I'm taking them seeds and replanting them. Period. In a nutshell. What you looking?
The visual, you know, I had the
I
visual
saw it. I
replanting.
saw it. I said, here you go.
My,
Here you go. The
I
wheels
just
turning.
no visuals today, y'all. No
No
visuals.
visuals.
Nah.
Oh my God, y'all. She did me wrong today. She ain't had no visual. Okay. Well, I'll give her a visual.
Come on here.
So just like I just said, them same seeds, right? So you know that when you plant a seed, like my grandmother was a gardener.
I was gonna say that, but I was like, go ahead, run with it. Let's see what you got. Come
my
on
gr-
here.
my grandmother was a gardener. She loved planting stuff. And I used to always ask her, I really wish she was still here so we can have these conversations because I was really intrigued by her and her gardening skills. My grandma would plant a seed today and like she had a whole garden. Come back to it, say next week. Now, the whole time that she's planting this seed, she's talking to the seed. She's talking to this stuff. She's like, come on, I need you to grow. It's gonna be all right. She's encouraging the seed to sprout up and be big. Come back to it the next week, it's big and pretty. Now what she's doing is she's giving it this plant all the nutrients it needs. She's feeding the plant. She's watering the plant. She's making sure this plant has the enough sunlight. Life is the same way. When you're trying to build that legacy or build that blueprint, you have to plant that seed. You can't just leave that seed there and not do anything and just expect it to grow.
All right.
You got to come back to it and you got to pour into it. You got to feed it. You got to encourage it to grow and let it know that it's okay. It's okay for you to sprout out. It's okay to come into this world. It's okay to be within the midst of this world. So if you plant a seed in your life, remember to pour into it. As sis say, you can't what? You can't pour
Pour
from an
from
empty
an
cup,
empty cup.
right? There we
See,
go.
I had another spin. So okay, that's good. Okay, okay. So in my reference to the seed, the visual, think of yourself as the seed, right? Some seeds and plants can grow in the environment that they're placed in, and other seeds or plants from certain seeds have to be replanted. Now, when you are replanted, you're placed in a bigger situation so you can grow and you can grow out and you can grow up and you can provide shade or food or shelter, whatever it is that that individual is supposed to provide, the individual plant is supposed to provide. You can do what's necessary because you're planted in the right environment. But sometimes those same plants were planted in environments that stunted their growth, so they were only able to go to a certain level, a cap. So you have to be mindful of, if you feel like you're in a certain level in life, you're at a certain cap, then that means that you have to be replanted. You have to be in a place where you can be, like sis said, watered, nurtured, talked to, so you can grow and you can develop and you can provide whatever it is that you need to provide in that moment, whether it's shade, whether it's financial literacy, whether it's emotional intelligence, whatever it is. You cannot provide those things until you are planted in the right environment.
Get this though. When my grandmother passed away, there was a plant that my mother kept from the funeral. Now she's had this plant for years because my grandmother been passed away for years. This plant, this particular plant, cannot be inside, but it can't be completely outside. Like it
Mm-hmm.
has to be on the porch,
Mm-hmm.
not on the ground, but not inside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My mother waters this plant every single day, and she talks to it. She talks to the plant as if it's her mother. She said, "All right." My grandmother's name is Lucy. She said, "Okay, Lulu. Good morning."
Listen, that's my grandmother's nickname. Child, come on here. Go ahead.
Wow. It gets scary by the minute, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all don't understand. But she'll be like, come on, Lulu. I'm gonna need you to perk up today. Because it might be drooped or something or whatever. My mom talks to that plant every day. And she's had that plant, and it's a big plant now. Like it has grown like tremendously. And I kind of believe my grandmother's spirit grows within that plant. And it's a bond between my mom and that plant. So you're right. My grandmother used to say, some plants are meant to be planted outside in the soil. Some plants are meant to be in a pot where it
Mm-hmm.
can grow inside.
Mm-hmm.
So that is true. Man, I must have learned something from grandma. See, that done came back to me. So that's
Mm-hmm.
true. They different environments for different plants.
Yeah, because you got to think about it with seeds. You have different types of seeds. You have flowers, you have trees, you have fruit, you have
Mm-hmm.
vegetables. Everything has
Mm-hmm.
a purpose. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. You cannot be a tree in the midst of strawberries. That's not the same. Y'all don't serve the same purpose. One provides shelter, one provides nutrients, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you got to figure out which one you are, and that's the problem. We are comfortable just existing with
Mm-hmm.
where we came from. And sometimes, in most cases, God has taken us to another component to do something else. Be fruitful and multiply. That doesn't always mean go and have babies, right? Be fruitful and multiply means to take what you've been given, knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
wisdom, literacy, in whatever capacity, and you share that. You don't
Mm-hmm.
hoard it for yourself. You share that with other people so they can share and then they can share. So it's multiplying. You don't keep it to yourself.
So my question for the audience is: did you grow up or did you grow away? Take some time to evaluate your life. Look at your life and how you deal with certain situations because that's what's going to tell you whether or not you grew up or not. Because what used to bother you don't bother you no more than maybe you did grow up. What made you react don't make you react anymore, then maybe you grew up. But I personally think when you get kids and when you have kids, at that point in your life, that's a turning point of I need to grow up.
Should be.
Should be. But you got a lot of parents out here that are parents that are still acting like children and trying to guide the children that they have. But everything that you go through in life, good or bad, is a good mixture to your stirring bowl. I'm gonna keep using this. It's a good mixture. You can add that in, but you have to come around and you have to put your own ingredients in because your take on life and your parents' take on life is different. Because why? Times are different. My mom said she lived in a time period when things was a penny. Okay,
Ain't nothing a penny.
they had penny candy.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. You remember the
Now,
quarter bag of chips was full.
now I had that. I had the dollar. I had the dollar gas, dollar gallon
Oh,
gas.
I know.
Yeah, girl, I used to fill up $20. Oh, it was the good days. I could ride all I want.
$20 don't even put a half a tank. You might get a quarter
Girl,
tank.
okay. So yeah, I had the dollar gallon gas. So I was in a little good era too. I was able to go to the store and get me a pack of chips and something to drink. Nah, you gonna spend $3, $4 on a drink and some chips.
Child, a sandwich is almost $5.
So my mom's time, my time, clearly different, right? So we're gonna have different lessons to learn. Different lessons to learn, but take what your parents give you. Listen, and I always say this: we all hard headed. We all had a hard headed point in our life where we didn't listen to our parents. Just let's be real. But if I can go back and do that thing again, child, I'll be on every set. What you say, mama? You say do what? All right, mom, I got you. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. I would not take none of that for granted because a lot of us don't have parents to guide us along, and a lot of us that do still have those parents that's getting on your nerves, as you say, getting on your nerves, telling you what to do in your life. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Listen, they know a little bit more about life than we do. Yeah, they been went through eras that we didn't go through, but they do know about life. So listen to them. They've been there, done that. All right, sis, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I had to say that little piece right there.
Listen, I ain't got nothing to say after that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just all about taking accountability and realizing that if you're still triggered, you're, growing away from it. But if you are unbothered, then you're growing up. So it's just time to really think about what it is you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, and understand that you are the only person that can get you there. So at the end of the day, as always, we are here, healing hearts and inspiring change. So we'll see y'all next week.
Later, everybody.